Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Kings at the Table, where today we're going to talk about some of the issues that are having a profound effect on our world. And we're going right into what is happening in this nation that's at the center of a lot of controversy right there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And today, joining us at the table is Atlanta personality and content creator Candidly Said. Said, thank you for coming and welcome back. It's great to see you as we are, again, it's a ice out. Literally, we have cold weather across the country, a historic storm brewing, not only literally, but figuratively as well. And we're also joined by author and environmentalist William Christopher Scandrette. Chris Scandrette, also known online as Enviro Bro. Chris, thank you so much for joining us and taking some time to be here with us. It was, if you haven't seen it yet, I did a one-on-one interview with Chris in my other podcast, The Colored Section. It's also available on my Substack, The Colored Section, same name. And so we did a deep dive in his book. This is a resource that I strongly recommend that you check out. If you haven't done so already, you will be glad that you did. Gentlemen, let's go right into the news of the day and talk about what is happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and really throughout the entire state. They are the center of the country right now in regards to ICE raids, in regards to a mass amount of attention from Homeland Security that is seeing violence every single day inflicted upon American citizens and their neighbors who may or may not be migrants to this country from the federal government. It reached a fever pitch last week with the killing of Minneapolis resident Renee Nicole Good, and we saw an immediate shift in the rhetoric from two different sides. I also want to know, what are your initial thoughts about this and where we are as a nation?
I think my initial reaction was just sadness. I mean, I think, when you see situations like this, I think, from a holistic perspective, when you look at ICE and when you think about all of the things that have happened, particularly with that part of the government and how they have kind of force-fed us into this, state of fear across the country. You lead with that intention in mind of understanding that, like, whoever sees them, you're immediately taken aback. And then to see what's happening in Minnesota to those communities, to those people, and to see how it's a constant state of just, instability. I think it speaks to largely how we sit as a country right now. We're unstable. There's a lot of fear at play, and no one really understands the law anymore because it's been so convoluted and skewed by the current administration that we really are standing in limbo.
Yeah, I think it just signifies a chaotic time. To me, it's like telltale signs of like the end of an empire. And like all huge empires, the Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, when there's the state starts fighting its people, sending troops and officers to attack its own people, that's like an implosion, if you will. Like it's one thing if Trump was just, and he is, attacking other countries recklessly, but when you are turning inwardly and your own citizens that are tax paying, that many voted for you, right, that supported the principles that you stand on, now you're turning towards them and they live in fear. And they're seeing children taken out of schools, taken away from their families ripped apart. It's chaos. And I don't see how anybody could substantiate that.
I think those are both of you gave some really good, insightful comments, and I think that you're 100% right. I think, Chris, as we look at what you talk about the end of an empire, this is absolutely a moment where our government is turning its focus on harming its citizens. Mm-hmm. It is, and Cedric, you talked about the laws, and I'm like, there are none.
Right.
We are now living in a lawless nation, a country of no laws, because the government, the ones who are meant to uphold the laws, are choosing to disregard them. Yes. And they're twisting the truth in real time. We all saw what happened to Renee Nicole Good, an innocent American bystander in her car going to pick up her child from school. She
Yeah.
was gunned down by an ICE agent. We saw it. We saw the car trying to go in the opposite direction of the agent. We heard one agent scream, go. We heard one agent scream, stop. It's a maneuver that's in the ICE manual known as a death box. We saw this. We have the evidence of this, yet and still the president of the United States got on a national stage and said that what we saw wasn't real. The vice president got on a national stage and said what we saw wasn't real. Kristi Noem, a bird-legged hoe, got on a national stage
Oh my God.
and she said that what we saw was not real.
Yeah.
This is the reality of what we're living in. And anyone who upholds this and anyone who supports this, they are, in my opinion, being anti-American and are and are responsible for what we are living through in the demise and the downfall of our democracy. One thing that stood out to me about this, though, because I've thought a lot about it. I've thought when you see leaders of a government tell the people that what they see to not trust their own eyes. Now, it's not just
Right.
the truth. It's your fucking senses.
Yeah.
They're telling you that your God-given senses are not even reliable compared to our lies. The only thing you can trust and believe are the lies out of our mouths. We are truly in the absolute end stages of American democracy. I agree. So I agree with you. We are at the end of that. One thing I've thought about, though, is who's going to save us. And I want to emphasize to my audience, bitch, no motherfucking body. There's no one coming. Like, I'm serious. There are people out there. And I was like, oh, I'll make a video about it. Fuck a video. I'm going to say it on the podcast. So you're going to see this shit right here. There are people out there who are like, well, if this gets so bad, Europe and other nations are going to come in. No, the fuck they're not. Look at Cuba. Look at communist China. Look at fucking Russia. Look at what they do to their citizens. Look at what they did to the citizens of Iraq under Saddam Hussein. They used chemical weapons against their own people. Look at what's happening in Iran right now. No fucking country intervened and saved them. So why the fuck do you think they're going to come and save us? Because they're not. In addition to that, we're like, well, the people are going to rise up. No, the fuck, they're not going to rise up. They can, but they're going to get fucking shot down and killed immediately. Because look at all the protests in Iran right now. Look at all the protests that we saw in Syria. Look at all the protests that we've seen all across this goddamn globe, and the government still stand. We fucked this country up in November of 2024, and we're gonna have to live through that shit. Motherfucking Adam and Eve could throw up that goddamn apple, bitch. The wages of sin are death, and you bitches are on the verge of it. Just like democracy.
Yes, I agree. I concur. You're just so vulgar today. I mean, it's great.
I'm mad as hell.
I can tell.
I
agree. I mean, you're right.
I don't see I'm someone who sees and thinks through multiple paths and multiple options, and I don't see there is no way out of this.
You really don't see a
40
way
years of our life. But it will take 40 years to undo these four. And if there's another 4 years of Republican leadership, then that's that. And that is something that I realized on the night that Donald Trump was named the winner of the 2024 election. I sat at my table with my friend Brian. We were live streaming. And I was like, it's done. And I literally said all of this and looked at all these people in the comments arguing and saying it's not true or give me hope. I'm not a liar. I'm not a false dealer of hope. And then I was like, but we will still survive this. And then in that moment, because that's actually when it like all hit me that in 2016, I had a mother, I had a partner, I had a niece, I had a different life than what I have in 2024. And that's when it like dawned on me, like, you made it through this with them. Now they're not here in your life. So now how are you going to make it? And it was like, well, fuck. It's going to be a totally different fight.
Yeah.
In a totally different battle. And I just think that people need to embrace this and see this and stop hoping that someone's going to save us, that we have power that we don't have. And look to fight differently. People are rioting they're not rioting, I'm sorry. People are protesting. Vigorously these policies. Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck. No. Mainstream media is sitting here talking about presidential approval rate. Bitch, they don't plan to have another fucking election. They don't plan to give you that, bitch. That's why democracy falls. They have elections right now in Russia every fucking 4 years when the police are right there with a gun to somebody's head recording if you vote for fucking Putin or not. That is what happens in these fucking dictatorships. And that is where we're headed to. And there's not shit we can do about it. Killing innocent American citizens These motherfuckers went into Venezuela, and 100 people are dead, innocent civilians.
Yeah.
And who's talking about them?
Nobody.
One. The goddamn United States Senate and Congress said that this motherfucker had to release the Epstein files, and these bitches released 100 pages of redacted bullshit. They didn't release shit. They were told to do it. Congress voted on them doing it, all this hoopla about it, and they still didn't do it. What is the consequence? There are no consequences. There are no consequences. There are no laws. There's no one to enforce the laws.
No.
The executive branch of the United States government is the executor of the laws. Their job is to execute. Sure. So when they refuse to execute, then there is no recourse. And now we see how fucked up our government is and how checks and balances don't exist. It was in name only. So what is our hope? What are the options available to us?
I'm so sorry.
No, yeah,
I think there is like a sliver of hope.
But tell it to me.
In my perspective, because I think so many people are afraid to call a spade, and I definitely think this is the Republicans doing. I think it's been their plans from the very beginning to have a full Supreme Court that will push every one of their policies through. When they declared that Trump, they're like presidential immunity.
Yep.
And I think Trump has even said on many occasions he could stand in the middle of the street and shoot someone and nobody would do anything.
Full immunity.
This man can do whatever he wanted. When Kamala and everybody else these last few years, we're talking not only about Project 2025, but Trump's and the Republicans' agenda, saying that if Trump got into this position again, he would be boundless. There would be no fail safes. There would be no one that could rein him in. And I think the Republicans that realize that they made a mistake, and the Republicans that realize what has happened, they are too afraid to take action because they know that it will be the end of their career, the end of their livelihood. They know that will be attacked by MAGA, and the other Republicans don't care because they're benefiting off of it, right? They're getting the money, they're getting the positions, so they're letting this man do whatever he wants to do because they feel like, oh, well, this doesn't affect me. They see what's happening. They see people suffering. They see people dying. They know that this man was recklessly killing Caribbean people, saying like, oh, it's drugs. And there's no proof of that. And everybody was saying there's no proof of it. And I guess we'll just go on with our life. This man also, he drop a bomb in, was it Ghana or Liberia or some African country, which no American president has done in recent memory. Nobody is attacking any country in Africa. No American president has been attacking a country in South America from recent history, right? Because we have all these alliances that prevent us from doing so, and we have Congress that has to declare war for, like, a president cannot declare war.
So we thought.
A president is not supposed
That's right.
to.
So we thought.
Yeah, but
without congressional approval, but he did it.
Absolutely.
He's constantly testing the powers and proving that I can do whatever the fuck
whatever he wants.
I want to do. And we are, as the American people, held hostage. So it becomes, what can we do? And what's going to be the most effective path to resist? And it comes in with our economic power. The American people are going to have to learn how to boycott and divest their financial resources, because that's the only thing that seems to carry weight in this current moment. And until we do that, we're going to be held hostage. Held hostage in a way that, they're going to try to hold the way they say it. Don Lemon held that church hostage. We had Don Lemon, noted journalist, now an independent journalist, formerly with CNN, a man who's built his entire career on covering the news and giving coverage, was in Minneapolis covering what is happening on the ground. He covered or gave story to an activist going into a church where an ICE director is on the staff of the church. And so it was an organized type of protest, but the federal government is saying that he violated the FACE Act, possibly the Ku Klux Klan Act. What do you guys think about what's coming up for Don Lemon? Did he do the right thing, or should he stay his ass in his black ass place?
Well, I mean, Clearly, you believe that he should have stayed.
I didn't say that.
Well, I mean,
I'm
hey.
telling you what Christy Nome, a bird-legged hoe, said. Not me, Christy Nome.
Oh my God, you are on one.
Have you
today.
seen her feet? Have you seen her legs?
Yes, I've seen her.
Yeah.
Legs. I've seen them.
She's they look like a bird-legged hoe.
They do. Very like peacockish. Anyways, Jesus Christ. I think that Don did exactly what experienced and brave journalists do. They go out and they get into action. And I don't think he did anything wrong. And I think this is another way of, another form of intimidation, another way of trying to silence the press and control the narrative and shape what things look like and sound like so that they can further manipulate the American people and then, again, manipulate the American law. And so, I think it's unfortunate for Don because not only is he fighting ICE, but he's also fighting Nicki Minaj. And, fighting two psychopaths in 1 week is a lot for anybody. So I hope that he has his psychiatrist, his psychologist, his therapist, his life coach, and his pastor all on speed dial. So
he got that little dog, that little dog. I don't know what that.
What little dog?
He has some. He and his husband have some fucking.
He
dog.
also has a white husband. Yes, so he'll be.
I
okay.
said a husband. I didn't bring up the man's
Sorry.
race, but he deals with ICE. He deals with ICE across the board. ICE, baby.
Who can keep you warmer at night? The dog or the husband? But yes, so I think it's crazy. And I think there's no basis to it.
No basis. What do you think, Chris?
I've been watching a lot of Don Lemon lately, only because I love that him and what's her last name? Joy something.
Joy Reid.
When they were
they're independent,
released
and they
from
went
their
out there,
Mm-hmm.
Now they are telling the raw truth, and they have nobody stopping them, nobody filtering them. This is what we need in this time of censorship. These networks that are controlled and ran by billionaires and companies that Donald Trump has, relationships with. He can control the narrative if people like Don and Joy would have stayed in, their positions. Now they can say whatever they want. They can say the truth, whereas everybody else is being filtered. Everybody else is being censored, and the narrative is being controlled. We need more journalists like Joy. We need more journalists like Don that aren't afraid
Bonded
to go
by a
out
contract.
and tell the raw truth. We need raw truth right now.
We have it. We have a lot of content creators just like me, the Zactivist on our platforms. Follow that shit, and you get that. But it is good to have when people who have the big name brands already developed enter into the space. So I guess did Don Lemon do any? I'm trying to give a different perspective. Because I guess I do kind of feel.
We know you do.
How do you know, Sid?
Because I know you.
What do you think? No, you tell me what you think I'm going to say.
No, I don't know.
What
I'm intrigued.
So listen, Don Lemon is an intelligent journalist, and he's learning, and he should have been aware of the consequences that he faced. And to be honest with you, I feel that he should have warned the activists to not take their asses in that church. I knew about the fucking FACE Act. There's no reason that Don Lemon didn't know this.
Yeah.
There's a reason why people stand outside the church and do what they do, or outside the mosque and do what they do. You cannot do that inside the church, inside a place of worship. It comes with grave consequences, and they're going to throw the book at him. He's going to face up to 40 years in jail.
Oh, my God.
So the same thing goes when you have an abortion clinic. Those abortion activists,
they can stand outside.
They can stand outside. You cannot go in.
Can't be on the property.
You can't. Well, it's different laws. I want to say I know you can stand outside of the mosque to protest, the synagogue, the church, but you cannot interrupt the worship service. Like this, how did you not know this? That is a very big rookie mistake if it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think it was. I don't think he did it on purpose.
Right.
But that's a big fuck up. I also think I do not mind Don Lemon and any content creators covering, but I have a problem with them centering themselves in these protests that are local. What's happening in Minneapolis is affecting all of us in this country, but it is still a local issue. The focus and all attention should be on the local boots on the ground. Zachary isn't going to fly his ass anywhere in this country to get in some shit. I'm going to talk about it and cover and highlight the people on the ground. But I'm not going to be on the ground. And what I do as a content creator, because that to me takes away from the local voices that need to be amplified. If it was in Atlanta, that's a different story. I think anytime you have the people's protesting, it needs to be about the people. And Don Lemon doesn't live there; he's not the people. But he should. But it's good. It's okay to be there.
People.
If you see it that way,
he is.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying I can see him being there to cover. But what I saw in this protest moment in that church was too much of him being centered.
Yeah.
And that's the only part of it I didn't like. But nothing but respect for him to a certain extent. I guess, he's not my favorite. He's not my no fight. I'm a Roland Martin man more so than a Don Lemon
course
head.
you are.
I'm a Roland Martin.
Unhinged,
I'm a Roland Martin.
heavily opinionated.
Black.
Critical.
In a very profoundly black way. But wishing him nothing but the best.
Sure
somebody who well, because somebody, but Don is black, we support him. Someone who does not support black people is Gavin Newsom.
Governor Newsom? That's crazy.
I'll be fair and give him that credit.
Yes.
Governor Gavin Newsom, who was recalled by the people of California, but who did indeed beat the recall, has a podcast where he has routinely and consistently platformed white supremacists. And these white supremacists include the now deceased Charlie Kirk, may he rest, Steve Bannon, and most recently Ben Shapiro. And in his most recent interview with Ben Shapiro, not only did he say that there was no genocide happening in Gaza, he also said that ICE should not be abolished. I want to know, what are your thoughts on this for Gavin Newsom, someone that there are a number of blacks, browns, and gays who want to see him be a presidential nominee for the Democratic Party?
So the first thing that popped in my head was he's trying to play the middle ground. And you see that from a lot of presidential nominee hopefuls. They try to go for the more moderate views, right? So they'll have a hard conversation, or maybe not even a hard conversation, with someone on the other side of the aisle to make themselves more, digestible, if you will. I feel like even Joe Biden kind of did that in his 2020 run. He was absolutely the moderate candidate. Like when Trump was still in office, he would say radical things like, free. Not free healthcare, but free education for all college people.
Yeah,
when he actually became the Democratic nominee, he retracted all of that, and he retreated because he wanted to make himself more digestible for the moderates and those conservative-leaning voters, right? And I think this is just a tactic. I'm sure his Gavin Newsom's team is doing this for them.
Yeah, of course.
He has people in his ear saying, "Hey, get."
But what do you think? What do you think about it? Not about how do you feel about this?
I think for anyone to win the presidential nomination in America, they would have to appeal to the middle. I think that's just practical. Is I don't want to say it's business, but it really is. Someone as extreme, and someone that resonates with me, but is still seen as extreme, would be like a Bernie Sanders or AOC, right? Like, I love their policies. I love their pushes for universal health care and the Green New Deal and all this stuff. However, do I think that they could win a presidential run? I'm not sure. The America that I see now, I think, would only cede to someone in the middle. I don't think, from what I've seen, for them to reelect this crazy man that's not even a true Republican, I just don't see them aligning themselves with someone that far on the left as Gavin Newsom says he is on paper, right? I just even Jasmine Crockett's Senate run. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening because she's running in Texas. She's running in a very red state, and she has very liberal policies. And Jasmine is unapologetic, which I love. I think more people need to be unapologetic, but to win anything, there has to be a conversation, and there has to be some type of middle. And this is not me saying like, oh, everybody goes to the middle. I'm just saying from
No, you're saying this is what you think is going to be. And that's what you are exactly in alignment with the vast majority of Democratic consultants and a number of, that's the popular opinion approach said.
I like you. We should spend more time together. Because I said the same damn thing a month ago. Y'all tried to jump down my throat about it.
You did. Episode 1. Episode 1 of Kings at the Table.
I think it is a classic, attempt at bipartisanship. I'm not mad at it. Although, the characters at play are questionable. And it's more inflammatory than I think anything, right? And it probably has had the adverse effect of what he has anticipated. If I was on his campaign team, what I feel and what I would advise him to do is to find someone who's on the right, but someone who's a little bit more moderately right. And I don't know who that is, and I don't know what that figure is. I try not to keep up too much of what they have going on over there, just enough to know enough. But I think that there's a way to align yourself with folks who are part of that troop with still, because I feel like the intention, right, is to kind of convert some of their voters, which is not the worst idea. It's not a terrible idea. I do think that the Republican Party is in a fragile state despite the antics of the current president. I think their voters are in a fragile state. And I think their voters can easily be converted for the right Democratic candidate. Now, what the Democratic Party has to do is identify who that candidate is that can be
the Democratic voters.
Democratic, right.
Because you guys got to, people constantly do that where they're putting it on the party. It's the voters. The voters have to decide, not the party. The party should play no role.
Yes.
The DNC should play no role in one way or the other endorsing a candidate until we have the candidate.
Freudian slip, excuse me. But what I'm saying is I think that, what the Democratic voters have to do is decide who that candidate is that will be the great middle ground player. I think that's what makes a great president. You know what I mean? I think we are long gone from the days of, Obama's and George Bush's and albeit they had their flaws, but I think those days are over. So it'll be interesting to see how we can come back from that.
So, I have a bit of a different take. People, let me say this.
George Bush was all right.
If it's how you see it.
He had terrible
I will not rewrite
policies, but
I will not rewrite. I understand that now we see them as being that they were more about bringing America together, but at the time they weren't. Obama was exceptionally progressive during his time, and Obama and Bush was exceptionally conservative for his time. Sure. So I look at them in the context in which they served, not the context of today. But in terms of Gavin Newsom, I will say this definitively. There is not a motherfucking thing that Gavin Newsom can do on this goddamn earth that's going to make me fucking support him in any fucking primary. He can kiss my ass. He can wipe my ass. There's nothing I have him. When you want to sit, let me tell you what you did. Let me tell you what Gavin Newsom did. Gavin Newsom sat his ass up here and he said that I care more about the votes of white supremacists and white nationalists like motherfucking Ben Shapiro and Steve Bannon than I care about black people, the base of the Democratic Party. Black people have carried this motherfucking party on their goddamn backs in every fucking state that exists. And for you to sit up here, Gavin Newsom, and platform a white supremacist, someone who says that Martin Luther King didn't do shit, for you to sit here and platform and say that we as a people have not suffered and endured and built this country, like by platforming a motherfucker who's put all their work and energy in downgrading and denigrating my race, and you put them on your platform, you just told every black person that we ain't shit in your eyes. And you think that we're going to turn around and vote for you? Fuck you, Gavin Newsom. No one's going to fucking vote for you. It's not going to happen. And I'm going to do everything within my power and in my platform to ensure that you don't get any fucking votes to move forward in a primary. There is no path forward for you. Now, with that being said, if Gavin Newsom receives the nomination for the Democratic Party, he will have my vote. Because I will not be voting for any Republican in 2028. But my focus is ensuring that he doesn't get that because of the choices that he made. Because it was a choice to platform a white supremacist. That's a choice. Sure. And you said these voters mean more to me than black people. That's what you said.
Because he feel like he has those
That's
white
right.
votes. He's gonna have those, right?
Or that you
So,
just don't fucking matter.
sure.
You niggas don't matter to me. That's what this man said in this action, and there is no walking it back. And then you said Gaza, there is no genocide in Gaza. And to me, you can't defend that, in my opinion, at what we've seen. It's okay to say, I believe in this two-state solution. It's okay to say, I believe that Israel has a right to support themselves. I believe that. But at the same time, to deny the fact that this government, the government of Benjamin Netanyahu, has implemented a genocide in the Middle East, you can't forgive that. And then you want to sit your ignorant ass up here and say that ICE should not be defunded at a time when they are wreaking domestic terror on this country. To me, Gavin Newsom there is no path forward for him to be a representative for the Democratic Party, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it. And I might make a post about this shit every motherfucking day of my damn life for the rest of the year. Attacking Gavin Newsom. Bitch ass.
You're definitely on your Roland Martin today.
I am
You ain't
very
gonna make
angry.
it to the View with that nasty attitude, though.
I don't like them hoes either no more because they sat up here and they done put Marjorie Taylor Greene on that bitch 20 times.
Don't leave Whoopi and Sonny and the rest of them alone, okay?
I'm gonna
just
try.
focus.
Well, you know,
But yes.
I do think that Gavin Newsom is right now one of our best bets.
But why?
Just
Shit, he all we got.
He's a white male.
Name
first
someone
of all.
better.
He's a white male.
Let's
he's a
take a
Democrat.
moment to talk about that because this is what people don't want to say, don't want to do. Kamala Davy Harris received more votes.
That's the obvious answer,
She
Zach.
received
Duh.
more.
But is she gonna run again?
She received more votes than any other person in American history, other than Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
Sure.
Okay, let's call a thing a thing. She received more votes than Hillary Clinton. She received more votes than President Obama. Both fucking times.
Well, you call her and ask her, is she fucking coming out of that house in Malibu that she just damn bought to come back and run to be motherfucking president? You ask her and
will
let me
see.
damn know what she say.
We will see. And in the event that she runs, she will have my full-throated support and endorsement. She has time to make that decision. If Kamala Harris decides that she is not going to run, there are other viable options out there who have chosen not to platform white supremacists. Now, who they are, we see that there's a possibility of Pete Buttigieg. I don't like him, but he's a possibility. Andy Bashir, don't like him either. He's a possibility.
Please don't
They say
Corey.
Mark Kelly, don't like him. He's a possibility. Your friend Cory Booker,
That
don't
is
like
not
him.
my friend.
He's a
I
possibility.
don't know that man from Allen
As
House
is Josh Shapiro. I don't like him, but a possibility. So there are options out there. And again, to me, it is a very, very, if all I'm asking you to do is not white platform, white supremacy, goddamn, that's a low ass motherfucking bar. And Gavin Newsom couldn't even make that. And that's, that's the opinion. But, not to belabor the point, I think I've made it clear how I feel about Gavin. You gentlemen have as well. I do believe that there's a value in the middle, a value to appealing to the middle, a value trying to pull these voters. But I also think the Democratic Party has to really buckle down on what they believe in and really make some hard choices about their stances for the people. I think that the populist message of fighting for the people and affordability is what's going to matter the most because it's only going to get worse. We're going to continue to suffer as an economy and as a nation in affordability, and I think that's the message that I need to hear more of as we move from the matters of the crown to the royalty. Did you guys watch
Heated Rivalry?
Yeah, the gays, the white gays.
I did.
You
Obsessed.
both watched it.
Yes.
It was so good.
It was so good.
Yes, it was. And I really enjoyed the story. I mean, it wasn't anything I guess revolutionary in the sense of the storyline.
Sure.
It was two closeted men who
They all over social media. I'm seeing these white gays. They are up and
who
down
over the course of time fell in love and eventually came out or were outed. However you want to look at it based upon the story, but. I thought it was great. I mean, I think it was something good to watch on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like soft porn, honestly.
That's exactly what it is.
But it was good. It was good. Why?
Well, it's just trending.
Because
Listen,
you always got some shit up your sleeve.
I'm very well versed in the political moments of the day, but we need to have a balanced show and show that the kings wear multiple crowns. And I can talk about politics all day. It don't mean that people don't want to hear that shit. So, but the girls are out here talking about these heated rivalry shit. So I was like, because it's a trending topic. So I just want to know, one, did you see it, and what are these initial thoughts?
Well, I wasn't gonna watch it because I'm like, oh, here's another white gay movie, and I'm like, when are we gonna see ourselves depicted in a love story
In 40 years.
Okay, is that when?
I told you. I just told y'all.
Oh my God.
Earlier in the show that it's going to take 40 years for us to get back what we've lost under Trump.
I don't think it's
And so to think that
yeah.
you're going to see fewer and fewer black people on television and in movies because the world is moving towards making sure that MAGA is happy. And they don't want DEI. So anything black is not, we don't want to see these. We don't want to see that. So the thing that we're going to get black gays, please, not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah. That was my hesitancy for waiting so long.
Yeah, you got to get what. Yeah, you got to enjoy what you get.
But then I started seeing the pictures of the boy's butt, and I was just like, why is his butt so fat?
Okay.
I was like, why is it so? Why does he have such a nice butt? And I was like, I gotta watch it.
And it was good.
It was amazing.
I love the show. I love the show. I did. I really did. And, I can't, for me, as you know, I don't politicize everything. Even though
you don't politicize much.
Well, I can't live in that space. For me, that's
okay.
Yeah. For me,
I think that's I think
healthy to be there.
Cedric, I think that's a really great opinion to have, and that's why your voice matters at the table because there's a variety. The majority of people are like you, and they are surviving this moment by not politicizing. No, by not politicizing everything.
Yeah.
By keeping things as light as possible and just saying, I'll deal with what I can deal with as it comes.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way of being, and that's how our ancestors survived so much.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I didn't even really think about it in a racial lens, honestly, at all when I started to watch it. But I'm also, with that being said, the context of how I have operated in the world is I've often been the only black person in the room, never operating like I was the only black. Mm-hmm. And so I have just personally in my life created it doesn't matter to me because excellence will be your birthmark. Is your birthright.
Regardless. That's true. And I think that's a really profound difference that we carry. I operate in the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I'm oftentimes the only black person in the room, and I carry myself like the only black person in the room.
Yeah.
For good or for bad. So that's really, I think that's a good dichotomy of the two of us.
Yeah.
And who we are.
Good show though. You should watch it. Have you watched it?
I won't be able to do that. I don't want to see that.
Okay. You don't want to watch it?
Mm-mm.
Why?
I don't like Spam, Vienna sausages, potted meat.
You don't see
I'm
penises.
joking.
You should watch it.
I'm not.
You're not?
No.
Why not?
I limit my television consumption. I only watch like a little bit of TV if it's not news. And so right now I'm watching The Traitors. And
yes.
so so maybe afterwards, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Do you like the new season of Traitors?
I am.
Portia's on there.
It's very disappointing. I'm very disappointed that
dumb?
the new season of Traitors. I'm a Traitors fan. I think it's a good show. I love season 2. I didn't like season 3. I'm disappointed that one, I watched season 1. I really wish they would bring back the content creator because Quentin Giles. I know him personally. He's a good buddy. He was on season 1. I wish they would bring back another like that person for season 5. Season 4, I was disappointed that Portia went home early. I think that come on, anyone who knows reality TV and Portia knows that she's like not the brightest bulb.
Do you think she plays into that though?
No, we saw for real.
I'm curious if she if it's like
you could say that you could clearly say that Portia's playing into it anytime you wanted to on reality TV.
I think Portia plays into a lot of things.
But on The Traitors, she was trying to win and at least get further than the first night. And
she was disappointed. Yeah.
she was like fucking up with just being dumb, okay? Being just an airhead. And that's just kind of a part of her personality.
Yeah.
It is real.
I hate that we have reduced her to dumb.
265 days. 265 days in a year is a real statement.
265 days. What the hell this bitch live in?
That was really Portia. It doesn't mean I like her any less. I do like her. I think that she would have been great for
She's
TV.
extremely likable and drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
I was surprised to hear that they casted her for that because Traitors is known for, you have to be a bit
Cerebral.
You know, like
Yeah.
Well, I
these are
think-
for like,
yeah,
this,
I
like
think
the
she's a little-
Phaedra, right?
I
Like
think she's
smart and
conniving.
That's why I
conniving.
said, do we think she plays into it? Because I almost feel like she has adapted the character, and now she plays into the character, the aloof kind of.
I think that's who she is.
Slightly tapped in, but like tapped out,
I think that's who she is.
blonde.
I
You know
think
what
that's
mean?
who she is.
I
I
don't
think
know
that's
that.
Portia.
I don't know that it's always who she is, and I don't know that she's as dumb as she plays to be.
I don't think that. I think that we're looking at different. I think absent-minded. I think aloof doesn't
Aloof.
translate over to necessarily dumb. I think she's very savvy, and I think that she's also to a certain extent strategic, especially about her career and about the moves that she makes.
Yeah.
I do think there's a level of manipulative nature to her as well when it comes to relationships, and I think she knows how
Maybe
to.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she knows how to
Yes.
work her,
I
her
think so,
relationships,
too.
and
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. She's not as dumb as she looks.
And that's why she's a Cancer, Gemini Cancer. And that's kind of why, like, I think people say Scorpio and Cancers make a match because
It's like what they say about Kathy Hilton. Like, Kathy's not as aloof as she plays.
as
to
she
be.
plays to be. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And so, but otherwise, you guys are watching the show. We're liking the show.
Mm-hmm.
How do we feel about Candace's turn on the show? That's, of course, I'm only watching the show right in real time.
For your former student.
For my baby, for my niece, for my Candace. So how do we feel about her? She's a breakout star of the season.
Of course she is.
I
Yeah.
love Candace. I'm obsessed with
Did
Candace.
you love her before the show?
I've loved. Well, I didn't like her on her first season of Real Housewives of Potomac.
She was
because
finding her way.
Yeah, she was finding her way. But after that, and then to see her on like the girls trip, and just to see her progression on Bravo period or Peacock, she's so intelligent.
Yeah.
I think that she's just
always been
thinking
super smart.
smart.
No, she
And
is.
she can speak so, I don't want to say she can speak so well, but like I'm country, so I have a hard time getting my words together. That doesn't mean I'm not smart. I'm intelligent, but it's hard for me to verbalize. But just to hear her, I'm just like, I'm drawn in. Like you can just tell that
She
she's
had
on her
some great
P's and
English
Q's.
teachers.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
She did.
So I
Listen,
did
I'm
not
gonna tell
know
you.
that.
Let me tell you something right now. Candace learned some big words. We had every Tuesday vocabulary test now. Them kids said it was spelling test, it was vocabulary test.
Yes.
And she got her words. She was always great with that.
yes.
And she used them words. Ain't like we would learn these words, she would use the words.
Yeah, I think Candace, I love Candace. I have always loved Candace. Candace, I've actually, people have compared me to Candace in terms of my verbosity and my ability to read a bitch down intelligently. So I've always had a keen fondness of Candace, and I think she's doing great. She's doing exactly what I expected her to do. Her outfits have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, chef's
She
kiss.
has been drop dead stunning. And I think Candace is the moment. I
Yeah.
think she's the moment. And I hope that this is the perfect segue for her to find her way back holding a champagne glass.
Oh, I don't want that. I never want to see Candace back on the Real Housewives
I
of
do.
Potomac.
I just want her back for one season. I felt like her story was interrupted.
I'll tell her that every day, every time I
I felt
can.
like her story was interrupted though. I just want one season of her with
Bravo's
the baby.
loss. Bravo's loss.
With the baby though, and just like, and she can just go.
They disrespected her further by bringing Monique
They
back.
did.
I'm not. No,
They
I
did.
want. Let me tell you something. Candace is bigger than that show. She gave them maybe a little. I felt like she maybe gave them a little too many years.
Yeah.
Candace
really gives round table talk show
Yeah,
hosts.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Candace
on
needs
big
to be a big
Yeah.
network. She needs to be a revival of The Real.
Yes.
Candace needs to be a talk show hostess on a panel
Yeah.
where she can give that wit that about the current issues. She's very knowledgeable of it. She's quick. That's what I want to see her do. Candace isn't like those other women. Let me tell you why she's not a housewife. Candace has a loving, doting husband.
Yes.
Candace knows how to support and maintain her marriage. Candace knows how to support her man, how to be a wife. She's learning now how to be a mother in that process. Candace is a woman who's very in control of herself without being reckless with herself. She's in control of the trajectory of her life without being reckless with it. She has class, she has grace, she has style.
Talented.
She's
Pedigree.
Yeah, she's been trained this way.
Yeah.
She's learned these things. And so she's just not, she's a cut above that. I felt like her doing the show was a good idea to get her brand out there, her name out there.
Yeah.
But her talent far surpasses Bravo celebrity. And there's nothing wrong being a
Yeah.
Bravo celebrity. I think it's a great thing to be, but I think that it was a season in her life that has come and gone, and now it's time for her to continue to grow into the next stage. So she has her podcast. I think that she's learning even better how to be that host. But I think that she needs to be at the next. Again, I would see her on The Real, a panel of great women having robust discussions about topics. Is what I think Candace could be doing. I think that she would be excellent at. I could see her being a host of like E News. I could see her being a host of like one of those type of shows and doing a great job with it. That's what I could see for her.
I agree.
So as we prepare to wrap, gentlemen, are there any other topics out there that you guys really wanted to bring to the table that we didn't hit on? Don't hold
what
back.
did you think about? Do you watch Potomac? With that
I
being
have
said,
not. I haven't
You
watched.
haven't watched
Since
Potomac,
when
have you?
she left, I
Not
quit
this
watching the
season.
whole
Okay.
show.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll veto that. The resurgence of Miss Iyanla Van Zant. Have you guys been
I
tracking
saw that.
Yes,
her
her
daughter
new book,
died,
And
right?
I'm reading her
Hygiene.
book. I'm in the
Yes.
middle of her book.
It's, okay,
Okay.
you're reading it, but spiritual hygiene.
Yes.
And what are your
Isn't it
thoughts?
great?
It's very Iyanla.
It's great.
Mhm.
It's
Anything she does to me is great.
Really? Okay, tell me about this book.
I'm a follower for sure.
so I really want.
I was very busy
reading.
reading this book. Okay, I've been focused on reading "Boy Interrupted" by William Christopher Skendrick. That's been my
I
focus.
love that name.
Yeah. What? Boy
It's a
Interrupted.
very
Yeah.
strong name. No,
William
Christopher
Skendrick. Yeah. So
Thank
that's
you.
been the focus.
Thank you.
So what is happening with Ilania's book? So I can see if I'm going to download it to read during once we get iced in.
Yeah, so this is another lesson that I've had to teach myself. So I have had something, I don't want to say against Iyanla, but it's something about her that I'm just like, I can't digest. And it's been like that for years. I think what she says is very powerful, but to me, I have a concept called toxic positivity that I feel like sometimes when you don't show your realness, which isn't so beautiful, that sometimes the positivity will cloud everything else and it'll come off as ingenuine.
Yeah.
So that's what I've gotten from her. But while I'm listening to the audiobook, I'm not reading the text. While listening to it, I'm telling myself she is a human having a human experience. She's not perfect, but what she says, it does hold power. And I've heard other people that have met her. They're like, when they walk in her presence, they're like, it's something about her aura. Like
They feel
her
it.
energy is just so. I got chills just saying this. Her energy is just so divine. So I am keeping that in the back of my mind when I'm listening to her. I'm like, there's something about her. God is.
Have you
speaking through
read
her for
any
a
of her
reason.
older books?
This is my first Iyanla
Okay.
experience.
I think you should start with some of her older books, specifically Yesterday I Cried or Peace from Broken Pieces.
Okay.
And that will give you a lot of her backstory. She has a lot of shit she like really went through that I think will help you like smooth over the because it does feel like that sometimes, like she's talking at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't know her backstory and then know the place that she's speaking from, and that'll give you all of the like backstory.
Okay.
Yeah. One of those books I actually have if you want it, but it's highlighted with all
I
those
would-
things.
Oh, those are
love
even the
that.
best
Yeah,
books
I've
to read.
studied.
Those are
I've
the
studied
best.
her.
So it's she didn't go to her daughter's funeral or something was like the big story, the big
Yeah.
takeaway.
Yeah, that was the big takeaway. She didn't go to her daughter's funeral because of her grandson, and I think he was making threatening claims at her, and she just didn't feel safe. So she had basically her own funeral, her own time to go see her daughter the day before the burial. And but the book is called Spiritual Hygiene.
But why was her grandson making threats against her?
She didn't really divulge that. She didn't really divulge that. But I mean, who knows?
And
I don't know.
You're going to tell the story, tell it all.
But she said,
Well,
for
I
the
mean,
funeral,
Iyanla's told us enough.
Yeah, she said for the
told us
funeral,
enough.
she didn't want to give her grandson the space to allow him to disrespect his mother by disrespecting her mother.
Yeah.
She said that, and but she didn't divulge like really what was his
That's not
gripe
normal.
against her. Like what was his problem
grandchild
against
bad
her.
at grandma like that now. I'm just saying.
Is it not
There's
normal?
no.
That's why I'm like,
Okay.
it's it's something.
And there are
there.
accusations
it's
that
unusual.
I'm just
It may not be normal, but it's also not unusual.
I ain't gonna be reading this now.
You ain't gonna read it
I'm
because
not
of
gonna
that
read it.
tidbit? That's not even what the book about. The book is about spiritual hygiene, and you have some things you should clean up.
My soul is clean.
Oh, your
My
hands
soul
ain't.
is clean.
Your hands are.
I'm
dirty.
religious, remember?
Yeah,
I go to the church and serve the Lord.
dumb.
My God.
That's what. Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot. Sorry.
Oh my
I'm back
God.
now.
Oh my
remember. Yeah.
God. But No, I don't think that may not be next on my list. I'll put that as like further down. And I don't really like the name of the spiritual hygiene. I don't like that title either. So
because you're religious, so you wouldn't get it. Anyways, moving on.
So with that being said, gentlemen, I thank you guys so much for coming out and joining us, and we can't wait to see you again next week.